I don't know how much more of this portal jumping I can take.
Well, it's either that or turn a 2-second trip into an 8-day one. Make your choice.
Cragstone. One of the finest warriors who ever lived.
Yeah, never heard of him.
What? You've lived in Dereth all this time and you don't even know who Cragstone is?
I'm sure he was a charming and dreamy individual composed of blood-soaked teeth, battle scars, and barbaric savagery.
You know, Connor, sooner or later you're going to have to realize that what you see as savage is what built society in the first place. Eventually, we all have to fight for what we want, or to protect what we have. I would have liked to see you talk your way out of that skirmish in Holtberg.
Alright, I'm sorry, okay? I can't kick everyone's ass like you can. I just hate how society glorifies it all the time. If I could have helped you back there...
Don't sweat it, alright? Your hard head could do much more damage than a battle axe anyways.
Likewise.
Oh, by the way, do you think you could loan me a few pyreals to get me a new sword?
Geez, how much is it going to cost?
10,000.
10,000? No, we're not buying a replica sword of Baroness.
I'm not using a crappy sword.
You're just gonna have to deal, okay? I'm not made out of money. I'm not going to keep spending money to replace things that you lose. We have to save what we've got.
Yeah, save me the money lecture.
And so, with Taben's sword issue out of the way, I began to speak with the various residents of Cragstone, trying to gather as much about the local happenings as possible. Excuse me, sir, could I ask you a couple...
Can't you see I'm extremely busy right now? I don't have time to talk to you.
Ha! That's what you get for trying to outdrink me. You've been served.
With some effort, I finally managed to get some meaningful information. A common topic I seemed to run into a lot was a strange drudge-built fortification just west of town. Strange, because normal drudges aren't known for their intelligence or ingenuity, let alone architectural talents. Texts and rumors I've come across often refer them to being as capable of only the most menial of activities. Many drudges, because of this, have been subject to experimental magic from those seeking to enhance the abilities of their slaves. But this comes with the price of a new threat of hyper-intelligent drudges capable of destructive incantations and highly organized assaults. You know, I find it funny that most were horrified when Martine emerged as a Verendi experiment gone terribly wrong. Yet the entire race of drudges faces this on a daily basis, and you'd be hard-pressed to get a reaction out of anyone on that subject. That's humanity for you. Anyways, getting back to the main topic. The leader of this fort, from what I'm told, is a drudge that goes by the name of Bone Crunch. Bone Crunch, from what I understand, has put Cragstone under siege for quite some time. He has even gone as far as to have traps set along the roads outside of town to make certain that his wrath is known.
So he was like, "Hey baby, wanna go out?" And I was thinking, what a creep. He just wants to get into my pants.
So, what did you do about it?
I said, sure, why not?
Yeah, that just sounds dumb. What the hell were you thinking?
Good question. That's when I decided later to take a romantic stroll into the Lugian Citadel. Then, I let him valiantly fight for me as I snuck away. I can still hear the crunching sound of his body as it was repeatedly caked into the stone floor.
That seems extremely unnecessary. Couldn't you just said no?
Well, if I'd said no, then I wouldn't have inherited his villa and beneficiary money from his life insurance policy.
Ah, now that you put it that way...
They also say that Bone Crunch is a...
You sure you don't want this root beer?
For the last time, Taben, no! Wait a minute, what's this doing in a library?
We just got that in recently. People have been absolutely crazy about this literature. It's actually quite an interesting read.
You can't be serious, literature? You've actually read what's in the soulless pile of crap? How can you even call this place a library anymore? And what happened to my book? It's not even on the shelves.
Well, I must admit it's a little bit less dull than, your book is. No offense. I mean, it's, truth is, I, sort of sold them off to the show orphanage. Them, they wanted to make little origami piece. Look, they even made me a grummy. Isn't it so neat?
By the gods, how can you read that garbage? How can you replace my book with this? Don't you understand that you're contributing to the downfall of human intelligence? Reading this magazine will turn you and your customers into mindless zombies. Look at how many times the word sex is plastered all over the front cover with that slutty, overly caked-up prostitute showing off her hoo-haws while she's laced up on narcotics. Not to mention the complete disregard for female dignity while implying second-class expectations of them towards males. And on top of all that, it insults gays and lesbians at the same time. And look, there's 3 misspellings on the front cover. How much of a more commercialized piece of junk can you get? This is an insult to writing. How can you sell this poison here?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to either be quiet or leave. People are trying to read.
You're dead to me now. And so I swore vengeance against the Derethian Times. But I have bigger fish to fry right now. With all the details we needed handy and a lengthy lecture to Taben about the responsibility of maintaining personal economy, we proceeded to the fort, unknowing of what would happen next.
I don't like this, Connor. It's almost too quiet. Are you sure this is a good idea?
I know what I'm doing. Just don't rush into things without planning like you usually do. You'll get us slaughtered.
Ugh, this is a bad time to be a hypocrite, Connor.
Embassy Gormy sees her victim, an unwilling and foolish adventurer who dares to trespass on East Ham Beach.